So first two batters into the game looked like Skoglund was doing real well, and then wheels kind of fell off there. Talk about his performance this afternoon.
He needs to get better. He needs to get better. You know, it's the thing you look at is that with 2 outs and nobody on, they scored those runs. As a matter of fact, I believe all 4 of those runs were scored with 2 outs and nobody on. We got to do better at that. It's not only just Eric, but as a staff, pitching staff, with 2 outs, we have got to bear down and get the job done. And those are things that as you continue to move on, talk about fundamentals, that's going to hurt you later on. And that is that's kind of a quality that I wouldn't say you have to learn, but I think the more as he continues to get experience, Eric is going to learn that. And that one inning, you know, we got 3 pitches. I believe it's 3 pitches, right? And then they score runs. That's just kind of, you know what I mean, that's a guy, you know, just trying to probably do a little bit too much too soon. But listen, he's going to be fine. I mean, he's going to be fine, and you know, just needs to, with 2 outs as a whole and as a group, we need to do a much better job of it. But I tell you what, look at Garrett Nuss coming right in there. That's probably the story of the game for me. And Nuss coming in and putting up all those zeros for us. 2 freshmen, you know, continuing to get better in a tight game, 1-run games. And both those guys, look, they really did a good job, and they complement each other nice. So, but I thought Eric's going to keep getting better. Nuss did a great job to put up all those zeros.
You mentioned fundamentals at one point.
No, I mention them every day, don't I?
Some of those runs weren't necessarily Skoglund's fault, as Sweeney had 2 errors in their second inning. You talk about defense.
It's baseball. It's going to happen. It's baseball. Things are going to happen. You just try to, you know, focus on the things that you can control, and you know, the things that we can control are, you know, throwing strikes and doing those things. So, you know, it's baseball. There's errors and walks and those kinds of things. It's part of baseball. It's going to happen. We'll regroup tomorrow, and you know, tomorrow the key is to try to play our best game of the weekend. As I told our guys, so look, we didn't play very well today. My expectations are pretty high. However, there's a lot to be said for not playing particularly well and still getting a win, and that's a quality that we have. So,
DJ, you talk about him taking advantage of mistakes. He did it again today.
Yeah.
Gets that hanging breaking ball and sends it over the right field deck for the go-ahead.
Yeah. DJ is, you know, obviously he got that by a big run for us. You know, one of the things with DJ that's made him such a great hitter is that he has learned what pitches he can drive out. You know, it's kind of like, it's like guys in the big leagues. Really, when you think about big league hitters, you know, those guys are throwing 90 to 95 with a curveball and a slider. How can you really hit that out? It's because once you see the mistake, you got to be able to hit that mistake. And DJ has done a good job of that, obviously, for about 2 years now.
You're going with Brian Atkins tomorrow.
Brian Atkins is going to start tomorrow. You know, Brian's on short rest, obviously, but I'm trying to position him for what I hope is the future, you know, back into that weekend rotation. You know, Brian, I mean, obviously, pitched fantastic against Florida State, pitched great, pitched very well against Bethune, so, you know, we're going to get him back there and get as much as we can out of him and try to get it lined up. I mean, you know, the weekend's not over, so obviously we're expecting great things from Brian, but we need to get our starting rotation ironed out. I feel like our bullpen has done a very good job. I mean, certainly well, really the whole year. The end of the games between Jimmy Reed, Roman Madrid, and Joe Rogers, that's a pretty good combination right there. And I feel like Garrett Nuss, you know, a week and a half ago, I told Garrett, I said, look, we need some middle inning guys, and Garrett has responded in a humongous way. I mean, look at what this guy's done for a freshman in those situations. So Garrett, I think, has done a great job. We just have to line up. Our starting pitchers have to do better. I mean, it's just the truth. We got to go deeper into games. We got to be more efficient. I got to know what we're going to get. I know with Brian Atkins, that's why Brian Atkins started Friday night last year for us, because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a guy that's going to compete, and he's going to throw strikes. So we got to figure out our starting rotation as we move forward.
As far as relievers go, who's available tomorrow?
I mean, I think obviously Joe and Roman are available. I mean, that's kind of how I did it. You know, listen, Roman could have obviously gone back out there in the ninth, but this is kind of what we're doing right now. You know, and it's not by any means nothing negative about Roman. I know he could have done the job too, but that's just kind of how we're doing it right now. So those guys will both be back. Heck, neither of them do more than 20 pitches. You know, we still got a lot of guys ready to go. So Nuss won't throw and Hukari won't throw, but besides that, I think everybody else is ready.